let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, excuse me, all due respect. Let's talk about the NFC North champions, Minnesota Vikings, just eliminated from the playoffs. Let's take a look at what they've got. And believe me, folks, their list of notes on my sheet here is twice as long as any of the others. Where do we start? They finished the year 13-4. The Pro Football Index Power Rankings only has them at number 18. They have $5.8 million in cap space. Oh, wait, that's negative $5.8 million in cap space. They have only 4 draft picks this year due to all the trades that they've made. And the number one needs listed for them is edge rusher and cornerback. They're going to have to make room if they want to sign Justin Jefferson. And I'm just going to come right out and say it, Vikings fans. I agree with you. He is the best wide receiver in the league. If you didn't believe it, that first quarter in the last game should have just sealed it for you. Some of the catches that he's made, some of the tears that he's gone on this year. Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league. They're going to have to pay that man if they want to keep him. Their defense ranked 28th in points allowed. They rank 31st in yards allowed. So they're definitely going to have to go in the draft with defense. Melvin G., what do you see on the horizon for this Minnesota Vikings team in 2023?
That defense, man, they got to address that. And how much are you going to be able to address? You know, limited draft picks, limited cap room. Like, honestly, I think Queasy, I like to call him Queasy because, you know, it's Vikings.
Make you sick.
But I think, honestly, he came in and he pushed his chips in. And I can see where, as you know, you're a GM learning on the fly, you may not want to go into a rebuild, you know, just right off, you know, tear down a team and go into a rebuild while you're learning on the fly when it's not really necessary. But I think they should have just kind of tore down this offseason. I mean, it's what it's going to come to anyway. And now you're hamstrung. So if that was the route you go this year, what are you going to do? Like, they're a mess, and I think they're this was their year. Like, they needed to do something this year. This was their window, and I think they.
What about you, Russell Wayne? What do you think? What do you see for the Vikings in 2023? What's the state of this team going into 2023?
I mean, they're in trouble. They pushed all their chips in, man. I mean, what you just said it right there. You alluded to it, like in your last talk, where it's like you're negative $5 million on the cap, and you have no draft picks. I mean, how do you expect to get better? You don't just get better. You better hope that all of your guys develop or whatever. But no, that's what happens. You put all your chips in, you ain't got no money to play with. So,
because the playoffs aren't finished yet in the NFC, we don't know where Minnesota is going to pick, but it's going to be somewhere around 25, 26. And they've got. This is an old team, gentlemen. This team is old. Listen to the ages on some of these players. Kirk Cousins is 35. Harrison Smith, 34. Adam Thielen, 33. Patrick Peterson, 33. Eddie Kendricks, 31. Dalvin Cook even is 28 years old. This team is old and slow. And I don't see how they're going to. I mean, that's their best players. Some of their best players we just mentioned right there. Yep. I don't see how they can come back from this. These bad deals that the previous regime has made and left them. It's going to take a couple of years, at least, you would think, for this team to rebound from that. Would you say that's accurate, Melvin?
I mean, I think so. In regards to old, you know, I won't say 35 is super old for a quarterback anymore, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. And yeah, like, they're going to take a little bit to bounce back, I feel like.
He's old in the sense that you don't offer him a 5-year deal. I mean,
I wouldn't offer a deal like that. I mean, there's only so many, you know, Tom Brady's who can play till 40 plus.
Is Kirk Cousins one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, Melvin?
I wouldn't put him in the top 10.
Russell, would you put Kirk Cousins in the top 10?
I put him at the if he is top 10, he's 10. He's right there where Goff is, really. I think he's comparable to Goff with like the skill set, underappreciated and usually does better than what people think he's going to do.
Right. One Facebook user says there's a chance that the Vikings will move on from both Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. I absolutely think there's a chance there. They're going to save some cap room, get rid of some of these old players. But when you do that, you're basically saying, okay, we don't expect to win the Super Bowl next year. Don't you think, Russ?
I don't necessarily. It means that we are forced to trust the younger, less expensive players, and who knows what they have cooking in the pressure cooker from behind the scenes. You don't know what guys they had on the practice squad that might be balling out that they're going to have to elevate up. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be hard. They're going to have to do it just for money purposes. So, yeah, it sucks to be you.
Sorry, one Facebook user says Cousins is not top 10, that he'd take Goff over Cousins. I also would take Jared Goff over Cousins.
I would too.
In this offense. If you were to pluck both of these quarterbacks up and put them on a different team, I think I'd rather have Kirk Cousins because, in my opinion, Jared Goff is right around that 10th. I think they're basically the same guy.